Vaccine passports are being talked about by the government as a means of getting out of the COVID debacle. They sometimes deny that they have plans for them, but then ministers jet off to Israel to learn about them. Let me be clear, vaccine passports are a terrible idea.
A vaccine passport that is needed to get into pubs, sporting events, and so on inside your own country is an outrage that we have never seen before in our Western democracy.
These passports are being marketed by governments as a way of getting your freedoms back. But this is an Orwellian use of language.
It does appear to be the case that signing up for a vaccine passport will give you back your freedoms.
Freedoms that should never have been taken away in a Western democracy.
You will be allowed to go to the pub, but the freedom could be short-lived.
Exactly. The government will then have a system that can control who goes where. We're taking it on trust that they will only use it for this one vaccination.
What if you need another vaccination in 6 months' time? Or a new one every year? Your passport might be invalidated until you take it.
Even more chillingly, would the government use it for other health conditions, or even for non-health matters? If you are suspected by the police of X, might you find that you can no longer do Y?
It comes down to this. Can we trust our government?
People say, we are a democracy, don't worry about it, that would never happen here. 2 years ago that might have been a reasonable position. But the government has just locked us in our houses for a year.
2 years ago, if anyone had said that the government would lock us in our houses for a year, everyone would have answered, "We are a democracy. Don't worry about it. That would never happen here."
And what has happened here? We have been locked in our houses for a year. It is unfortunately the case that the idea that it could never happen here is no longer feasible. Anything could happen here. It might be unlikely, but so is locking us in our houses.
This is the trouble. Their actions have shown that we cannot trust the government not to do the most outrageous things.
Sadly, we cannot trust the government not to use a vaccine passport system to control people's movements in other ways.
Even with the basic vaccine passport as muted, they will know everywhere you have been. And the digital system will exist for them to flick a switch and disallow you entry anywhere.
Government will be in total control. This is the exact opposite of getting your freedoms back. It sounds monstrously hyperbolic, but this system could be used in a similar fashion to the Chinese social credit system.
The infrastructure will be there to restrict everything according to all sorts of rules and regulations.
No longer can we believe that this would never happen here. It could happen here and we have to stop it. A vaccine passport is not a step towards freedom. It is not even a step towards totalitarianism. It is an entire leap into giving the state complete control.
This has to be rejected. Please speak to your friends about this and make sure that everyone understands and is in agreement.
Vaccine passports are an idea that goes against the very idea of democracy. We've already had the CCP-inspired lockdowns ruin our lives. But now we are more aware of what is going on.
Our government has implemented lockdown. Trust has broken down. Let's not allow them to add vaccine passports to their list of policies inspired by the Chinese Communist Party.